Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers, is brought to you by Scoville.com. Try Scoville.com's hot sauce subscription box, where you pick the heat, flavor, and food pairings you want in your box. Get 1 or 3 bottles delivered to your door each month. Choose your heat level, flavor profile, and food pairings. And it's completely customizable each month. You no longer have to worry about getting sauces you don't like or won't use. Scoville.com specially curates each month's box based on your personal preferences. And best of all, High Desert Sauce Co., Butterfly Bakery of Vermont, and Irish Spike's unique hot sauces are all available at Scoville.com. Welcome to Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers. I'm Spike.
I'm Zac.
And I'm Claire.
And today we're talking to Katie Bannister of KTB SAUCY on every social media platform I can think of. Thank you so much. How you doing, Katie?
Good. How are y'all?
Very good.
Good.
It's nice to have you back.
It's good to be back. Love seeing y'all.
Katie was our very, very, very first guest on this podcast.
One of the most listened to episodes.
Yeah, I think it might be the most listened to. It's close. Yeah.
Really?
You're a celebrity. Yeah.
Yeah,
that hadn't hit yet. That has not hit. That's insane.
Yeah.
No, that's ridiculous. You have great questions, and it's a great show. Thank you. Cool. All right, moving on.
So, Katie, tell us your history of spicy food and hot sauce and how that led you to, eat peppers and competitions and all that fun stuff.
Oh, that is such a big question, homie. God, where does it start? I guess it starts with my dad. Like everybody else's story starts with, my dad liked Texas Pete. My dad liked Frank's Red Hot. That was where that was. But I think what gives me a leg up over everyone else is I grew up down the street from Pucker Butt Pepper Company. And listen, Fort Mill, South Carolina was the lamest place that ever existed. It was all antique shops and no liquor license. And then Ed Curry with the Pucker Butt came in and we were like, ooh, is this a sex shop? No, it wasn't a sex shop. It was a hot sauce shop and it was cool AF. And then fast forward a few years later and then he's hooked up with Hot Ones and it was just cool as shit. It was so cool. And 2020 happened and my life fell apart, as lives do. I think everybody's got that one moment where everything hits the fan. And I tried to create a support group for moms. If anyone ever gets bored enough, dive back into the monologues. I was trying so hard to get moms and women to come together and talk about their experiences as being moms. And you would be amazed how many women refuse to share that part of their story, even if it would help someone else. And I got tired with that, opened up my refrigerator door, and I shit you not, it was from the top of the refrigerator door to the bottom of the refrigerator door, full of hot sauces. And I thought, well, let's do this. And I started interviewing the people off of the labels that I had met. And that's how I met Zac. That's how I met Spike. That's how I met everybody. It's just, I found the people that created those sauces and I wanted to know their stories and they were willing to give me those stories and they were beautiful stories. And I fell in love with hot sauce. And then of course that took me down the algorithm of peppers and I don't know, the whole thing. But I think most of all, my favorite thing is the mental health and wellness of it. Honestly, that is, I don't want to sit here and be lame and be like peppers saved me, but I don't know. It just,
why? Why don't you want to be, hey, hot sauce saved my motherfucking life, dude. Seriously. So, and I say it loud and fucking proud.
Because I guess I don't want to sound cheesy. I think that might be it, but it's the truth, bro. I remember, and this could be controversy or not, I don't give a shit. I just remember Ed Curry telling me, long before my dad died, my shit fell apart when my dad died. But I remember him telling me before my dad died that peppers and hot sauce helped him curb his addictions and changed his life. That shit pulled me through. So there you go. That's what I got. If you want me to elaborate, I'll elaborate, but I'm not going to go on for hours about it. I could, but I won't. But it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment. I eat peppers. I eat hot sauce. I like to do good for other people. I hated myself for a really long time, and I don't want to hate myself anymore.
Not hating yourself is wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
Big fan of that.
Go. Me
Agreed.
too. I hated my fucking ass for a really long time, and for whatever weird reason, hot sauce and peppers helped me not hate myself anymore. So there you go.
That's fantastic.
Good story.
Thanks. Spent a lot of time on it just now. Anyway, moving on.
Katie, I remember in the last interview you were talking about wanting to move more toward reviews and social media and all of that and away from selling and that sort of thing. Where are you now with that?
Oh, that's such a good question. I guess the opposite. I don't know. Wow. Say it one more time.
Well, when I remember last time you commented on wanting to move toward kind of the social media and influencing and that world and away from selling sauce and that side of the promotion of sauce. And so, but I'm just wondering where you are with that now. Are you still selling sauce, or are you moving to, what direction are you moving into with your hot sauce journey?
If it were a perfect world, like seriously, if I had everything that I wanted, I would make a living off of reviews, because I don't have to, I don't make much working my ass off now, for an actual job, but I would love to make enough off of social media and then sell sauce. But as time's gone on, I've learned that's probably not going to happen, and that's completely okay. At this point, once we set up the festivals and the tent and stuff, seeing people's minds expanded with flavor is really exciting. And I love that. So I guess now my plan is to, I always want to do the social media aspect of it because I enjoy it and it's fun. And I think people like me doing it and I like doing it. But I would really love to set up a situation where I have a successful retail store selling small batch sauces, maybe / restaurant selling small batch sauces. But I've changed my mind at this point. I genuinely have. It is so freaking cool to see people light up, especially here in South Carolina. When they light up and try different flavors and different sauces and different peppers, it's so much fun. So I've changed my mind.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah, I think last time. Sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think last time when you said that was just when you were closing up the Cap Cave, the physical Cap Cave.
Oh man, that broke my freaking heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, but then you found the festival aspect of it, and you found a new love.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that sucked. That's all I can say. That sucked. It was that was one of those things where I guess sometimes things have to get all fucked up before they can get better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that was it. The flea market built it, but it's just not, it wasn't the clientele. It wasn't the environment. It wasn't the right fit. So it was hard, but I'm not going to stop. I can't stop. I'm not going to stop. So
there you go.
Sound like somebody else I know.
Ew. Who? You? Ew. Gross. Oh my God. What?
Why is that gross?
I'm kidding. It was a joke.
Can you hear that? You need me to turn it up?
Look, Katie, he's saying you're number one in his book.
That's how I said perfect.
What's your favorite pepper?
Oh, shit, bitch. You know. You tell me. Out of 3 of y'all, one of y'all got to know. You don't?
I'm asking you a question, and I would appreciate an answer, please.
I will totally give you an answer, but you don't just know?
I may know, Spike may know, but the people listening to this show don't fucking know. So what's your favorite fucking pepper?
Flavor Balance Heat is brought to you by High Desert Sauce Co. out of Tucson, Arizona. Zach is the owner and creative mind behind High Desert Sauce Co.'s hot sauces. He says, at High Desert Sauce Co. we make sauces that we love. The balance of bold heat and fresh flavor is the heart of our philosophy. We keep it simple by using the best ingredients we can get our hands on and letting the natural flavors run the show. High Desert Sauce Co. Just the good stuff. Visit High Desert at hdsauceco.com.
Lemon drop.
Oh, I remember that now.
Yeah. See, I knew that, but I forgot.
Rude. I spend time in my head all the time trying to figure out like the perfect lemon drop sauce. But I'm not a sauce maker, so.
What would be in the perfect lemon drop sauce?
Ooh, I don't know. Actually, I do. Is this weird? Like, all right, oh, shit, I'm going to say it, and then there's going to be somebody that steals it from me, so I can't say it. It's like the Krabby Patty recipe. There's a perfect one out there, and I just, we'll talk afterwards.
Hey, how about this?
You should tell us, and we should beep it out.
I will, absolutely. I'll
but not edit
mouth.
it out. Beep it out. Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
beep it out.
Real?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all won't sell me out on this one?
No, I
think I'm lame. That's fine. So here in South Carolina, like especially in Charleston, we're all about and all that stuff. And I would really love to do goodness sauce.
Yeah.
It'd probably be expensive to make, but I'm sure it would be very good if it could hit all the right marks.
There you go.
That's great.
I will totally bleep that out.
Thank you.
And we should all say how wonderful that is.
It's so.
Would it taste
it
like
really is.
God.
That's incredible. I love
that you shared that with us.
I would love that. That would be so cool. Like, I feel like there's so many people here in Charleston that try and hit the mark with like a and they never do. And it was just like, you could do it. We could do it. It can happen. It's possible with the right people. That's it.
Awesome. I like that.
Thanks.
So since the last time we interviewed you, you were on Super Hot on Hulu.
Oh, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I loved it. It was so cool. It was so validating. It was awesome. I hate that it's like received a negative connotation now that the filming's over with. But at the time, I mean, it was cool. It was really, really cool. It was a lot of work. I spent like 4 days filming nonstop and almost got fired from my job to have like 10 minutes worth of feed in the show. But still and yet, it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it to meet Troy Primo. And yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I hate that it's gotten a negative connotation, but I wouldn't trade it for a single thing in the world.
I didn't know it had a negative connotation.
Are you just talking about within like the hot sauce group or like the Facebook group? Is that the sort of thing you're talking about? Or
there are just negative sides to it. Pepper wise, sauce wise,
personality wise.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But for me personally, and I think that people viewed it as an attack on the Carolina Reaper and a bunch of other things. But for me personally, I'm really honored that I got to be a part of it. I thought it was cool. That's all I can say.
Cool. And they're doing another season, I've heard.
Oh, no one's told me.
Well, I'll tell you that when we were watching, Helen and I were both cheering you on while you were eating peppers. It was so much fun. Yeah, it was a blast. You should have seen us. We were yelling at the TV. It was awesome.
Thank you. Bro, listen. I have to say this. They did not put this in the show, but I have to say this for myself. The first pepper, like, I don't know, I fell into this, but like the first pepper eating competition was in Dallas and I sucked and panicked and freaked out and had all of my anxiety issues, and that is what it is. And then the next one in Charlotte, I beached it and I was number 3. And they didn't say that. And that really bummed me out because I was amazing in that last one. And I just wanted to sit here and say that to everybody else.
Well, now everybody else knows, and I'm glad. That's really awesome.
Well, and I have to say that watching it was really interesting because I know a lot about the hot sauce world, but I'm really not that into, or I don't know that much about the pepper world because I get all my peppers in Vermont. So there's really not a lot of drama in the Vermont pepper world because there's not a lot of Vermont peppers. And so seeing all of that pepper drama was just really interesting. It was really fascinating because it's so closely related to what I do, but I don't see it. And that was cool.
There's no pepper drama in Vermont because all the Vermont peppers are in your freezer.
That is true.
That's true.
That is true. Even some of the other like hot sauce makers in Vermont store peppers in our freezer. So
Oh God.
Everybody has their
I
own
learned a lot.
individual corner.
Yeah. So you probably do know this, but in case you don't, Claire has a freezer the size of northern Vermont and
2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
That's like
with 11-foot ceilings.
Yeah, it is.
It's bigger than my house.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and it's full of peppers. It's full of peppers and onions and garlic scapes and cilantro and dill and tomatoes. And whenever, for a little stretch, we were counting our tomatoes, like weighing them. And for some reason, every single time we weighed them, there were more. So we refer now to our tomato breeding program in our freezer.
I am very much in love with that. That is awesome.
It's a lot of fun and cold. It's like -1 degree in there.
Yeah. I'm on the other side of it. I didn't know the pepper side. I had no idea. I'm very much a sauce person and I enjoy the culinary aspects. I did not realize how deep the pepper world can go until filming. And there were people that I met that were talking about crossbreeds and hybrid breeds and Jesus Christ. It was just I was like, oh man, I had no, it sounded like science class, honestly, and it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed the food aspect of it. I enjoy the reviews and the food, and I'm Pepper Swiss over here. Just thank you for all of the sacrifice that you make to give me good sauce for me to sit here and talk about. I appreciate Spike, can you talk to me about unicorn blood?
Oh yeah, sure. What do you want to know about it?
Well, I guess I want to know the original idea, and then once a year, I know in June, you do unicorn blood with a unique label, and
Yes.
I would love to know more about that.
Well, I'll talk about that, but then Claire will have to talk about her Pride hot sauce as well. So, because we both have one. Yeah, hers is, I'm jealous because she has glitter in hers. So Unicorn Blood was I actually it was a riff on a barbecue sauce that I made way back, I don't know, 14 years ago. And I was working at the Moscow Food Co-op and I made a barbecue sauce that they actually packaged and sold in the store. I kept trying to get them to put my face on it because I thought that would be really funny and they wouldn't do it. And now I have a riff on that recipe with my face on it in the co-op sold, which is really awesome. So yeah, I was trying to do a riff on a Cuban kind of twist on Chipotle, and I had found some blood oranges. And I thought, okay, that'd be really good to go with the Chipotle, and I grabbed a bunch of limes and just kind of, I thought, oh, this will be really different. And it was, and everybody really liked it. I made it way too hot, I thought, at the time. Now it's not hot at all, but it was really hot at the time for people, especially in Moscow, Idaho. But it lasted for a while. Yeah. And when I started a hot sauce business, one of the first ones I came up with, it wasn't in the first wave, it was the second wave, was Unicorn Blood. And it came really quickly. I didn't have to do a whole lot of testing and it just felt right. And now it's our most popular sauce. So I'm always trying to beat it.
Good luck. I don't know if you can.
Oh, actually, I think we have. I'm pretty sure that at least Ty's is the Queen of Hearts, our lemon pepper.
Dude, that sells so freaking good.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Seriously, yes. Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Spike, you should talk about the Unicorn Pride and what you do with it.
So once a year, we do Unicorn Pride. I wish I had a bottle here.
You're wearing the...
well, I'm wearing the Unicorn Blood, yeah.
Oh.
So we had the art done differently on the label. Actually, this year, that's why I wish I had it here. My kid did my youngest did the art for it, and I'm so proud of it. I said I couldn't help it. I made, usually I always put the artist on the side of the bottle, and I made it like this big on the side of the bottle. And so we give, when we're at Farmers Market, $5 per bottle goes to the Trevor Project to help LGBTQI teens in crisis. And then when we're selling it just retail, it's $1. And it's really awesome. I love it. And they're a great organization. Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers, is brought to you by Irish Spike's unique hot sauces and Vandal pepper sauces. I'm Spike, the owner and executive saucier. Our sauces are handmade in the Pacific Northwest using the best possible ingredient. We believe that hot sauce equates to a balance of sensational heat coupled with a robust and complex flavor profile. Live your hottest life with Irish Spikes. Irish Spikes unique hot sauces and Vandal pepper sauces are available at saucecult.com.
Cool.
That's great. And then we've got our maple sparkle sriracha for Pride.
Sparkles.
We actually, this is last year's. I don't have this year's with me, but so the label's a little bit different, but basically the same. And it's got glitter in it. I don't know if that comes across there.
It does not, but now that I know.
Yeah, it's got edible glitter. And otherwise it's just our maple sriracha recipe with edible glitter. It has been a process figuring out how to incorporate the glitter without glitterifying our entire kitchen. But I think we figured it out. And we have some fun pictures of one of our staff in a full hazmat suit while incorporating the glitter to prevent her getting coated in it. Unfortunately, the rest of us who are taking pictures did get coated in glitter, but that's okay. And then we have a little tiny Progressive Pride flag.
That's perfect.
And then we donate 25% of the sale of this to Vermont Pride Center. And their help with that's Vermont's adult pride or adult queer organization. We've also donated to Vermont's youth queer organization for other projects, but we do this one every year, and it's delicious and it does good things. So yeah.
Awesome.
Just to chunk this out there before we move on to another topic, it may not have rainbows, but it is the best Verde that has ever Verde'd, and that is Zac's Verde. I'm just going to throw that out there. I have to. I've said it for years, and I will say it right now with my voice. It is the best. It doesn't have to have a rainbow on it for me to love it.
My wife would agree.
Always love it. That is what it is.
Zach was so sweet. He heard that my wife liked that sauce a lot, and one day just 3 bottles just showed up, and he said, "These are for Helen." And she
Tell me that is not
touched.
the best Verde there's ever been. It truly is. It's like Marie Sharp's with all the zestiness, but then a little smokiness, but not too much smokiness, and then you've got the girth of it. It's just perfect. It is just perfect. It is what it is. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I don't want to compliment you. I know you hate that. I don't want to.
I'm not a compliment guy.
Yeah, I could tell. One of my favorite things in this life is making you uncomfortable, and I don't know why. Anyway,
I don't know why you. Yeah, I don't think you understand the life I used to live before hot sauce. Not a lot makes me uncomfortable. Nothing like, doing your morning business with your cell buddy fucking ass shaking right in front of your face while he's brushing his teeth. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I do, and I know
we're
that.
Good.
But me just loving you as you are and snoodling you, I feel like would make you far more uncomfortable.
What does that mean? Snoodling.
Word fuzzies.
Sounds dirty.
Exactly my point. Anyway, this is y'all's show. Don't let me take it.
I feel like a lot of people who come on this show who love Zac love snoodling Zac.
Oh yeah, you can't not watch. He's got the longest face in the world. And he is the most.
I smiled more this fucking episode than I ever have on this entire fucking show. But you know what? No.
You just like showing off the teeth. Smile, nice grin to show off the teeth.
You go ahead and mean mug all you want to.
Yeah, we know how much you love us.
Your nose.
Oh man.
Anyway,
Zac, you have to ask a question if you want us to move on.
Yeah,
it's your question, Claire. It's still your question.
Well, before we do that. Katie actually had a couple things she was going to ask us about, which was about labels and.
Shouldn't she ask that when it's time for her to ask us questions?
Oh, I guess I just figured we'd kind of get into that because it's kind of the meat of the. It's about. They're not questions about us, which is what the questioning thing is. Yeah. So there you go.
Heard. Okay. I guess I'll let it slide.
We're wild and crazy. We can do whatever format we want this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're fucking. All the rules are out the fucking window today.
Oh, finally. Almost a year begging for no fucking rules.
There are things on a label I need to know more about. So, like for me personally, I'm a huge fan of hot sauce. I'm a huge fan of promoting businesses. I'm a huge fan of whatever it is that I'm doing. But I need to know how to protect myself in the future from falling into bathtub brew. So is there a way for me to know?
Okay. Lot codes. They'll either, technically they're supposed to be printed according to the FDA because these
I love you have wicked provisions, sir.
Can fall off. Okay. So if there's not a lot code anywhere in the bottle, whether it's printed or on a sticker, it's a red flag. You can't really see it right there. There's a manufacturing address. If it does not have a manufacturing address, if it does not say manufactured by or distributed by or manufactured for, it's a red flag.
Okay.
If the ingredients aren't clearly in order of the amount, that's a red flag.
If you see something where, like, I don't know, salt is up at the top and chili peppers are down at the bottom, like they're not putting it in the right order.
Yeah.
Why? Wait, tell me more about that. Why? Why is that a red flag? That's interesting.
The ingredient list starts with the most weight. Thank you. So the product or the ingredient that has the most weight is going to be the first ingredient in the list, and then it descends from there. So the last ingredient is going to weigh the least.
Okay.
So if they have salt up at the top and it's not salt, if it's not a salt, then clearly it's in the wrong order. They might have the ingredients at the top should be peppers or, some vegetables or vinegar or even water. Like any of those things could be at the top. But if, sugar is the last ingredient, but it's a sweet sauce or anything like that, those are, clear red flags that they're not writing their ingredients in the right order, which maybe says that they're not following other rules that they should be following too.
Very good to know. That is so good to know.
Oh, Zach, we're only seeing your mouth. Am I the only one just seeing his mouth?
I think it's just you, man, because there's no way. I mean, I see
an eyeball now and a nose. There you go.
I think it also depends on your screen and how you have it cut.
Yeah, I'm seeing what I think is the full screen. I can see myself and you, Claire, and Katie.
I can see all of Zach now.
Okay. Yeah, now. But when he was up before, he was talking to only in his mouth. Yeah.
Hi, sunshine.
There you go.
All right. We're going to have to figure this out, man, because this is obviously really good on my phone for camera quality and voice or whatever. But apparently, anyway.
We'll get it figured out.
So, in the ingredient list, for instance, this has vegetable stock in it. So it says vegetable stock, and then in parentheses, it has the ingredients of that vegetable stock.
Right.
It's called sub-ingredients. So if you see something like pepper mash, if it just says pepper mash and there's no sub-ingredients, it's kind of a red flag.
Yeah.
Actually, though, that one might be okay, because often pepper mash is just peppers and salt. The sub-ingredients don't actually have to be put in the parentheses, but they do have to be put in the right order by weight. And generally, if you're buying a product and you're using an ingredient that has sub-ingredients, like vegetable stock, you don't know the weight of all the ingredients that went in there. If you weren't the one to make it, you don't know how much went in that finished product. So if it has, and so that's why you use those parentheses and do that list of sub-ingredients. If you do know, or if it is just salt, you can list salt in the regular list of ingredients. And so if you know, now if you have a lot of spices, salt might be above them or below them, and that's where it could get a little tricky. But if it's, mostly pepper mash or mostly vegetables, salt can be down at the bottom and you can just leave it there.
That's cool.
It is. I have looked it up, and that I'm very confident on that one.
So, okay. So now I'm going to ask some fucking questions because, for instance, if your pepper mash is peppers and salt, that salt content of that pepper mash is definitely above 2%.
Yeah. Well,
which is like a required listing thing.
Right. No, it does have to be listed, but you could list it farther down in your ingredient list. You don't have to list it as a sub ingredient, as long as you do, in fact, in the finished product, have the right order of ingredients. So, I mean, because it's just peppers and salt, you can look at the percentage. You can look at the percentages and make a reasonable estimate of how much salt it has in there and figure out where it goes in the ingredient list. And then you would have to use their nutrition panel to calculate your nutrition panel. And that's a more exact thing because their nutrition panel has numbers on it.
Yeah. Well, that's assuming the pepper mash has a nutrition.
Does that vary by state?
No, that's federal.
No, that's federal.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a federal thing.
That's federal.
One other thing go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
So I would also say if you have any major, like if you have any of those red flags, one of the things there's two things you can do that are going to pretty much ice it. They'll let you know for sure. If you have any questions, just say, oh, this looks a little odd. You can contact the maker and just ask them if they have the FCE number.
They'll lie.
Oh, well, they can tell you the FCE number is going to be, it's not something you keep secret. It's just their canning establishment number. And they can give that out. It's very easy to find. And they should be able to give that to you. If they don't have one, then they're not going to be legit. Or the other thing you could do is just ask them for the report from the process authority. Hey, can I have your process authority report? It's not a guarantee, but it's likely.
And so you can also ask for an SID number, which is the number, the process filing for that specific product.
Yeah, that's true.
And just say, I'd like the SID number so I can look it up. Whether or not you're going to look it up, that's going to kind of freak them out if they're just doing bathtub sauce.
Yeah.
I'm Claire George. I own Butterfly Bakery of Vermont. We make hot sauce, mustard, cookies, and granola, and 100% of our products are made with Vermont ingredients. The thing that I hear most often from people is that my hot sauce tastes like the peppers that are in it. We do really simple recipes that don't get too crazy and nitpicky, just to really accentuate the flavor of the peppers that are in there. The unique thing about our hot sauces is how much we feature the farm and the relationship with the farm and really bring the terroir of Vermont to our hot sauces. I am pretty sure I am the #1 purchaser of Vermont-grown chili peppers. I would love it if there would be a legitimate pepper market in Vermont where people would know Vermont for its peppers. We're all better for supporting each other. And I think that part really shows itself with the collaborations that I do with the other businesses and the other farms, that I love working together and coming up with new ideas and presenting each other with new challenges. And I think overall that's the attitude here. And I absolutely love it because that's my attitude. I try to live my life with love. The ingredients that I use, I would say that my values are reflected in that I use ingredients that, again, feel good, feel loving, feel supportive. The relationship with the farmer was how it all began. If I changed the reason for it being, if I went out and bought some commodity peppers, it might not be as good.
You can find Butterfly Bakery of Vermont hot sauce, mustard, granola, and cookies at butterflybakeryvt.com.
Yeah. So let me ask this question. As a reviewer, and I never expected in a million years for my hobby to hit, I guess, the status level it's hit. As sauce makers, which all three of you are, what benefit do you get from random YouTube TikTokers like me reviewing your sauces? Like, I've tried to give back to the community through the Capsaicin Cave in the sense that you've provided me with sauce you've provided me with content, and then I pay you back by trying to sell your sauces in the store. And if they sell great, then I buy again. And if they don't, then I don't. But what benefit do you guys get from us, like me and Brian Ann's and Heat 101? What is the benefit to you guys?
Well, I can give you a great example of that. We came out with this sauce, which I should send to you, Katie. It's the Spike of Life Smoked Ghost Beer Mustard. And Brian did a really great review of it, and I thought we had enough. It's the first time I've ever, on a standard sauce, not one that is limited, run out of sauce. I'm really careful about making sure to have enough. I plan in advance, and we ran out because of Brian. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So there you go.
So I have a question real quick. Going back to pepper mash, what if it's peppers and vinegar?
Yeah. So, I mean, you run a risk if you don't put it in the parentheses. And so what I'm saying is, like, really best practice is just put it in the parentheses because then you're going to know and everything. I'm just saying you can have a legally correct ingredient list that does not have parentheses. But I mean, that's for something as simple as pepper mash. There's a lot of products out there. You might see butter. Butter has more than one ingredient. You might see, vegetable broth. You'll see ketchup, mustard, liquid smoke. Liquid smoke can have one ingredient. I have seen that before, but
I know. But if it has multiple ingredients like soy and whatever, tamarind and water and salt and sugar, I mean, that's that has to be listed.
Then you should list all of those things. Right. And I would say, Katie, that there are legitimate sauce makers who have an FCE number, an SID number, and all of that stuff who still make mistakes on their labels.
Yes.
Sure. So I would say that it's not a reason to be like, oh my God, it's bathtub sauce, but it is a reason to be like, hey, I noticed this is kind of weird. I just wanted to check on that before I bring it on my show.
We all had a close friend that had a silly mistake. And we called him out recently.
And we were talking about it on the episode. And then all of a sudden he sent me a message saying, oh my God, I can't believe I missed that. And I was like, holy shit, did he just listen? Turned out Zach sent him a message.
So. Let me ask you this question. You guys, y'all have taught me all along the way. I mean, okay. As a reviewer, I hear all the time that people wish that I was more honest, which I try very hard to be honest without being deprecating, because just because I don't like it doesn't mean somebody else doesn't like it. And so I try really hard not to make my reviews personal to my flavor preferences, profile, whatever. But then I find that if I don't like it, people kind of lose their minds. I'm the biggest asshole in the world because I'm not a big fan. And that makes me wonder, as a reviewer, should I stop accepting free product? Because it's almost like you're buying me for a positive review that I don't know necessarily if I need to give.
For you, maybe it's a little different.
Start buying products.
Well, you're doing two things, and some people may have a problem with this. I personally don't, but you're reviewing and you're selling sauces. And sometimes they're sauces that you sell, which would be kind of a double jeopardy, except the fact that you're going to only sell sauces that you like. So you're going to have those good reviews are going to be reflected in, hey, I like this sauce, I'm going to sell it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with anybody who gives all good reviews.
I mean,
hold on. As long as they're honest about the fact that they're bringing on sauces that they want to recommend to people. They're basically recommending sauces to people, and they're not reviewing sauces and being critical either way, but they're saying, hey, I love this sauce. Here, check this out. And this is why I love it. It has this and this and this. There's nothing wrong with that at all. What is somebody who just goes on, that's great. That's great. That's great every time. That is not appropriate. But explaining it, hey, I love this. I want you to love this. And this is why I love this is informative. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I mean, I do think that there's a certain amount of, if you think about the restaurant reviewer for the New York Times, they have to have what I have to imagine is an amazingly thick skin, because they sometimes pan restaurants that then shut down because of that review. And so, that's kind of one of those things that if you're going to give negative reviews, which I think there's absolutely a place for negative reviews and let people know. But yeah, those people are going to get pissed off by it. I feel like it's silly to get pissed off by it. There's no food on this planet that everybody likes.
Yeah.
Correct. None. I agree with that. That's the beauty of food. That's the best part of food.
Yeah.
It's so cultural, and it's so, oh God, food is so cool.
I hear what you're saying, Claire, but do you remember how, I don't know about you personally, when I first started making hot sauce, I took bad reviews very personally because I put my heart and soul in this shit. I mean, now I can, what I mean? A lot of these people she may be talking about are newer to the game.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, without a doubt, people are going to get hurt by it. I take it personally, but at the same time, I don't, because it's food. And I guess it bums me out when somebody shares a bad review, and then I go shut the video and I go and grumble to myself. But then I just don't share it, that's also why, I make sure that I listen all the way through when somebody reviews my sauce and make sure that it's a good one before I share it.
Can I share a story with you guys that, like, it's been about 2 years in the making now, and it's really awesome that you pulled up Wicked Provisions, because he sent me 2 sauces long time ago. Had no idea who he was, no clue. Sent me his sauces, and there are 2 flavor profiles I'm just not a fan of. One is sun-dried tomatoes. The other is anything smoky. I'm not a fan. But homie sent me his sauces, and I was like, okay, sun-dried tomatoes, not a huge fan. I pulled Will in. Will's a big fan. Will loves it, blah, blah. I feel like we sort of saved the sauce in review. I met him at Zest Fest, and he was like, I would really love it if you came and tried my sauces again. Like I'm Ego from Ratatouille. I'm not. I'm just some ding-dong with a YouTube channel. But okay, we'll go check out your sauces. He kind of freaked me out. But as time's gone on, this motherfucker has made the best shit ever. What I love so much is he fucking beasted. He beasted. Everything he makes now it's a top seller. It's delicious. It's winning awards. It's incredible. Do I credit that to myself? Absolutely not. But I admire his tenacity. He didn't, I'm sure I offended him, and that was not my intention at all. But he just got better. And he's so much better now. And dude, as soon as we put that shit on the table at the Cap Cave, it sells out every time. And I think that's cool as hell. Sorry, I cussed a lot. Y'all might have to bleep that.
Oh, we don't bleep that.
We don't bleep that. We don't bleep
We
that.
got
But tell me
Zac
that's
on
not
here.
cool. That's what I want to believe that a reviewer is there for. And after doing it for 4 years, there are things I like and things I don't like. But there are things that I know that make a good sauce, and things that I don't think make a good sauce. And I don't know if my opinion actually holds that kind of weight now. But his reaction to it was beast mode.
I think the only thing that really pisses me off about reviews is when, or even just, it's not even reviews, just lay people, is when they think that their opinion is fact.
Yeah,
it's
fair
not,
enough on
it's
that.
not fact.
Nope.
It's your opinion, and that's great.
Facts.
Share your opinion with the world, but it's not fact.
Right. Yep. Yes.
That's all that pisses me off.
Yes. And I think that yes, I completely agree with you. And I think it's the responsibility of a reviewer to not put too much opinion into the sauces that we're reviewing, for the simple fact of I just said I don't like sun-dried tomatoes or smoky stuff. But that doesn't mean that those aren't great sauces. You just,
Yeah. And I mean, and also if you want to just give positive reviews, there's nothing wrong with trying that sauce and then being like, I don't like it. And if they say, hey, are you going to review it? And you'd be like, it wasn't for me, so I wasn't going to put it on air. If you want me to say I don't like it on air, I can do that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with accepting free sauce and then saying, I'm not going to review it on air because it wasn't for me.
I would appreciate that personally. I'd be like,
yeah,
thank
me
you.
too.
I don't want somebody going on saying they hate the sauce. I mean, you can tell me personally, and that's great. I mean, that means that's feedback. But when you go on and do it on air, especially, when you're not expecting that can be hard. It's losing sales. So.
Yeah, that's good to know. Just to hear it from the other side.
I think you're taking the right approach, though. This isn't for me is perfectly acceptable.
100%.
Yeah.
110%.
We all have our prejudices as far as food goes. So.
Yeah. I hate Greek yogurt.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't understand why people like it. I don't get it. There's other flavors that I can taste, and I'm like, I can see why other people like it, but it's not for me. Greek yogurt, I don't get it. It tastes like wallpaper paste.
You've been eating a lot of wallpaper
How do you
paste?
know, though, Claire?
I like to try new flavors.
I ate lead paint as a kid. Is that a Vermont thing where you're eating wallpaper?
Well, I can smell things and I can taste things in my head. So I kind of, in my head, I know what most things taste like.
All right. So, Katie, we're doing this thing called the $100 hot sauce. It's based on, we've seen a few people come out with sauces that were really expensive, either 100 or more, and they just weren't worth it. And so we want to make a sauce that is $100 that is worth it through process and packaging and the ingredients. And so we want to know if you have any ideas for what we should put in it. We're pretty close to nailing it down, but anything else that might come up, we might might take us in a different direction.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
A good maker with a good story and a good purpose and reason.
Oh, that's all of us. So.
Yeah, it's all three of us.
No, it's not. I don't think it is everyone.
No,
But
all the three of us.
We're making
the present company.
Sorry, I
included,
didn't. I
would
didn't
it's
say that
everybody.
part. We are actually making this together.
Yeah.
I think Truff is overrated. I'm sorry, Truff. I'm really sorry, but I think it's overrated. Shit. I really do. I think that's an impossible question because it's food. It's a cultural experience. It's an emotional experience. There's no way to answer that question. You know, there's no way to answer that question. It is so different to so many people. One of my favorite games to play when I worked in the mental health care facility, we would have people come to us from all over the country. And my favorite game to play, I could guess where you came from by the mayonnaise that you eat. If you are Dukes, you're from the Southeast. If you're Hellman's, you're from the Northeast. If you're Veganese, you're from Cal. Like, it was so easy. And that's like, yeah, it's impossible.
Except I'm in Idaho and I've got Dukes in my fridge.
I love you even more now. I do.
They sell it in our grocery stores now.
My mother and father were married for 42 years before he passed away, and he always swore the reason that marriage lasted so long was because there was Duke's mayonnaise in the refrigerator and a backup in the cabinet. So, yeah, that's an important thing. But yeah, no, I can't answer the question. It's impossible.
Katie, do you have any hot sauce hot takes, things that you believe that other people kind of usually think a different way about?
That I believe that other people think a different way about.
Like, my hot take is I would take a runny, liquidy sauce over a too thick sauce any day.
Oh, I think I'm going to have to challenge you on that, Claire. I disagree. I think that I don't like the pour when I'm like trying to review a thick sauce, but I appreciate a thick sauce because it will last longer.
Well, see, I actually feel like a thin sauce will last longer.
Do tell why.
So my frustration with a too thick sauce, you can't get it out of the bottle. I'm enjoying the food. I'm in the moment. I'm like, I'm going to put a little sauce on my burrito, my whatever. And then I'm like, that drives me nuts. I hate it. And then you finally get it out and just a big old clump comes out and I want to spread it out. I mean, a too thin sauce is not my favorite, but I can evenly pour it over what I'm doing. I can keep doing it. I don't have to think about it. And you can't put too much on because it's not going to like mound up on top. It's just going to soak in.
Facts. All right. I'll take that. That's cool.
You've changed my hot take.
Word. My hot take. I guess I think my hot take now is the same as it was a year ago or so. We don't need to keep trying to make the hottest. Please, God, stop trying to make the hottest. Just make good.
Yeah.
I'm so over the hottest. And you guys mentioning hot ones, I will say that time and time again. I'm so over people trying to make the hottest. Just make good stuff.
That's very good. And I think that's worth hearing more than once a year. Seriously.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, that's my official KTB SAUCY opinion. Y'all don't have to make it super hot. Who gives a shit if it's super hot? Just make it super good. And fortunately enough, Claire, I've never had your sauces, which I am so sorry.
I would love to send you some. I would love to send you some.
Try them.
Cool.
That would be awesome. But I know you guys make great stuff, and it's always flavor first, heat second, in my opinion.
Katie, are you a cilantro person or a no cilantro person?
100%, yes, sir. I am.
Oh, Claire.
Is that bad?
No.
Spike loves my cilantro onion hot sauce.
My desert island hot sauce is Claire's cilantro onion green. It's so good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite thing is Spike is you're one of my favorite makers. You're so culinary. It's so cool and it's so fun. And that's I don't like the bravado of the hot sauce world. I like the culinary aspect of it. And I wish that was promoted more. And I wish that Super Hots had promoted that more.
It's coming in. I see it a lot more. It's really nice to see.
Cool. Yeah. I'm down with that. 100%.
I really feel like the current hot sauce movement that we're in, it's, really different from the 90s hot sauce movement. Yep. And the 90s was just about burn. It was about the extracts, Dave's Insanity, all of that. And now it's really merging with the specialty food world. Yeah. And that's reflected in what I do, because I do a wide variety of things, just part of which is hot sauce. And I feel like that specialty food aspect is just really nice. And I also want to say that, like, a chili pepper is always going to be hotter than a hot sauce. You cannot make a hot sauce that's hotter than a chili pepper. Yeah. And because it's got other stuff in it. And so if you want to burn out your brains, which, I mean, I feel like especially that whole recovery drug addiction world, like chili peppers kind of have a place in that world, like the hottest high, getting that high from a chili pepper instead of from something else. Like there is absolutely a place for that world. But like, do that in chili peppers. Like, we're never going to get that with hot sauce. And like, I did like a hot sauce eating contest years ago where I made all the hot sauces for it. And everybody just like blasted right through it all, even though I was trying to do the hottest thing I could possibly imagine. And then we finished off with chili peppers because we just had to eliminate some people. But that's like, you know, you never just, make the hot sauces good. But also, if you are making a super hot hot sauce, make that good too. Yep. Like there are people with that tolerance and they get shitty hot sauces because they're just, And so just like they can taste the flavor, even if, you know, your average layperson can't taste the flavor at that heat level. They can taste the flavor and they want good hot sauces.
Well, and genuinely, Zach, I'm going to compliment you again. I think out of anybody I've met, the person who can do super hots the best and make a really great sauce is Zac. I mean, he's the perfect example of somebody who can really push the limits of heat and still make it unbelievably good. So
100%.
Yeah.
Zach's not here.
I've never, everything about you makes me want to squish your cheeks and give you a big fat hug. And I want you to ick all over it and be like, ugh, it's the worst.
I've been painting shit all fucking day. So if you want to come smell my stinky ass,
you know what? I would smell your stinky ass.
Right there.
Katie, did you ever see the video of Zach and me meeting for the first time?
No,
you didn't see that? I'll send you the video. It's so funny. It's great.
Oh, please do.
It was at Fiery Foods. It was great.
That's perfect. I apologize. The first time I ever saw Zac, I had to apologize to his girlfriend for slobbering all over. Like, it's a weird world for sure. The hot sauce world is a weird one.
Yeah,
and my kids tell me all the time I have imaginary friends. I've never seen or met anyone that I talk about all the time.
So let's do the show and tell.
Yeah, what'd you bring for show and tell?
Yeah. What'd you bring, Katie?
Oh shit.
You went and got it. What the fuck happened for show and tell?
I have brought Mako steak from the Spicy Shark. It's delicious. I'm a huge fan. Do I need to open this? It came from my personal collection. I will open it.
You don't have to open it.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't.
Which one was it? I couldn't hear.
This is Mako snake from the Spicy Shark.
Yeah.
Big fan. And I'm also starting to notice that coconut milk is becoming a trend now. This was the first sauce I ever saw use coconut milk. What? And now it's...
No, was it?
No, it's not. I lied.
No, it was not.
It was not. You're right. I lied my ass off. It was yours. It was yours. It was the teapot masala. Yes, it was. That's the first time that I ever saw coconut milk ever used in a hot sauce. And now I see it all the time. And now there's coconut sugar. There's coconut, all kinds of shit. But yeah. That's it. That's my show and tell. Yay, small batch hot sauces. Woohoo.
Yay. What you got, Spike? Woo-hoo.
I have...
Claire. You know what? What do you got, Claire?
Yeah,
ladies
Claire.
First.
I brought Heartbeats Salsa Verde.
Oh, that is so good.
It is really, really good. I really love a good salsa verde, and this does it. I mean, it's definitely. I was a little like salsa verde is a salsa, not a hot sauce, but they totally hit it. It is a hot sauce salsa verde, and it's really tasty. Heartbeat did a good job.
Word.
Yeah, and he worked with somebody else on that. Look at the top.
Yeah, it was. It is. Laurent.
Yeah, he's a friend of Chef AZ, and
Duggins.
He was pushing it because he's real good friends with him, and it is a great sauce.
Yeah, no, I really, really enjoy. I love a good salsa verde. Like I grew up on burritos, and this is like what salsa verde is. What I put on everything.
Oh, that's right. You're from California. I'm like, what
the
fuck are you getting burritos in Vermont?
Oh my God. You should have, oh my God. The how I had to adjust when I came to Vermont. I ordered a burrito at a restaurant, the best Mexican restaurant in town that everybody loved. And I'm used to my San Francisco style burritos where it comes wrapped in tinfoil and you peel it off layer by layer and it's all assembled correctly. And you've got a nice, super fine shredded cheese. So it melts just the right amount. And I went to this restaurant and they handed me a plate with a burrito laying on it and then a mound of beans and a mound of rice next to it. And so
some
the only
shredded fucking iceberg lettuce on the side with tomatoes on it.
Oh yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. No tomatoes though. No, just the lettuce and the beans and the rice. And then the only way to eat it, because it was all sopping with these like black bean juices, the only way to eat it was with a fork and knife. And I'm like, what am I doing? I don't like this. Yeah. And it's very common to not have rice in a burrito here. That you actually like the super burrito will have rice, but like the regular one won't. And I don't understand that at all. A burrito to me is just not a burrito if it doesn't have rice.
Claire, when I was in Massachusetts, we had the same problem, and we finally found a place that looked like, just by the outside and the decor, looked like it was going to have great food. I ordered a burrito. I took a bite. It had pickles in it.
White.
Well, that restaurant that I mentioned, when at some point it got sold to a new owner, but before the old owner sold it, he was clearly just like checking out and kind of like done. And one of the menu items was eggplant parmesan. It's like, I'm so confused. So, but we do actually have a growing Mexican population here because of our dairy industry.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Better food.
Zach, please tell us about the sauce that you have. I would love to know more about that label. It is very enticing.
This is a pickle lips. They're from Santa Fe, New Mexico. The ingredients are like, I don't know, way too small for me to read. Something about cranberries, mustard, and red chilies.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm going to open this motherfucker.
Mustard?
Cranberry, mustard, and red chili. Easy hot sauce is what it says.
I feel like you just cussed at me.
Oh, man.
That's weird. I love the weird ones. It's my favorite.
Smell good?
I mean, it smells... It's like mild on the aroma. I don't know how to explain it.
That's weird.
Zach, you really are.
I'm a what?
You're my favorite person in the world. It could be his favorite sauce ever, and he'd be like, meh, this is my happy face. Everything you do cracks me up. I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to taste this without teeth in because, like,
getting used to it.
Dentures, believe it or not, they cover the roof of your mouth, and you don't have like a full taste spectrum. Because right now, there's taste buds like on the roof of your mouth that are currently covered. So I will taste this later, and I will report back next week. Because right now it's just very mild in flavor.
Okay.
I wonder if you're losing some of the tannicness of the cranberries.
I mean, I could just pop them out, but I'm not going to do that on camera.
Spike, what'd you bring? Oh, tannic, like wine. You know, like you can kind of taste red wine in your cheeks, kind of.
Yeah.
That's the like the tannins from the red wine.
Got it. Okay.
Cool. All right, and I brought Hoff sauce, boring sauce for boring people. Oop, there we go.
Nice. Nice.
And other than the name, I love it. I'm not a fan of the name. It's just sorry, but the sauce itself is actually really good. It's just a simple sauce: tomatoes, vinegar, onions, water, chipotle, habaneros, chili pepper. I'm not sure which one. Canola oil, garlic, cumin, sea salt, black pepper. But the ratios are right. I've been using it very regularly. I like it a lot.
Good maker.
Yeah, I agree.
Sounds great.
All right.
Did you want to do the speed round questions?
Well, I think the next one is what's next for you, Zach.
Who, me? Well,
no, Zach.
Okay.
What? I did hot sauce show and tell, bro.
Okay. Well, what's next for you? What's next for Katie?
No. Me. Yeah. So, what's next? Great question. I would love to tell you. So following in Roger Damp's footsteps for the most part, we started, at the flea market here in Charleston, which I loved very much, but I don't think was it was never going to be the spot because for the most part, people were always trying to haggle us out of it. The flea market just wasn't the spot for a retail situation. Yeah. So then we moved online, we moved to festivals, and the festivals have been great. And now in downtown Moncks Corner, which is, I always say that I live in Charleston, but I live in a much smaller area. But there's a downtown area that's opened a consignment store, and the Cap Cave has its own location there. So what we're going to do is invest in small business, invest in our favorite brands, and set up our kiosk in that store and sell here locally, because one of my favorite things to do here for South Carolinians is not provide them with over vinegar cayenne pepper sauces, which is what everybody freaking makes. So yeah, that's the hope, is just to continue expanding South Carolinians' flavor profiles. But that's what's in the works, is the consignment store. And yeah,
Awesome.
one day I hope it's going to be a storefront. One day there's a part of me and Will both that hope that we can kind of do what Mikey V's done with his tacos, like tacos on the square, where like half of it's hot sauce and the other half is tacos. But we'd like, I don't want to say what we're going to do because someone's going to steal it from me, but hopefully we'll do something similar to that one day.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we got. Just following our hearts and doing the thing.
Do you have any other questions besides the ones you've asked? Do you have any other questions for us?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like we might have covered it all. Yeah, I got one for all three of you. Do your socks currently match, and are you wearing socks?
I'm not.
No socks?
No
Are
socks.
you wearing pants? Are you in your boxers and just a t-shirt?
I'm in
Is this a Zoom meeting?
basketball shorts. It's
All right,
Sunday.
so Zach is wearing no underwear at all. Nothing.
Where did this come from?
Where are the cameras you have in
Where
there,
are you?
Katie?
This is my question. Are you wearing socks? What do they match?
Yeah, I'm wearing socks. They match.
Claire needs to tell us about her socks.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not actually that interesting, but Vermont has a really great sock company called Darn Tough, and they're really great socks, and they have a lifetime guarantee. So you get a hole in them, you send them back, and they send you a new pair. Really fantastic socks. You go to any party in New England, it's very common to take off your shoes because it's all muddy and gross outside. And you go to any party and you look down at people's feet, and 50%. 75% of the people are wearing Darn Tough socks, and that is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a matching pair of Darn Tough socks.
That is perfect. Love that answer.
Got it.
Any other questions for us?
No, that's it.
All right.
I love y'all. Thanks for the show.
We've got a speed round.
We're not done yet. We got a speed round.
Yeah, so we do this. We do a speed round to finish things off. These are quick answers. Okay,
Yeah.
you can decline, but just very quick. All right.
Okay.
Don't think about it.
10
You win.
Oh,
You win.
God.
I think we can know the answer to this. You win the lottery. What's the first hot sauce related thing you buy?
Pass. Next
A
one.
plushie.
All right. If you had to give up the hot sauce business but could do anything else, what would you do?
Be a mom.
You only get to use one sauce for the rest of your life. What's your desert island hot sauce?
Oh, the Verde. The Verde. Your Verde. The fire roasted Verde. That's it.
If you had a sandwich named after you, what type would it be, and what type of heat would be in it?
Oh, it would be the most disgusting hodgepodge of shit. It would be like bologna and ham and cheese and strawberries and bananas and some weird ass hot sauce, and nobody would want to eat it on sourdough bread. And that's what it would be. And I feel like it's one of those things that's so ugly it's cute. You don't want it, but you like it, but you don't want to like it, but you do. That's what it would be.
Awesome. If you could go back in time and change one thing about the early reviews you did, what would it be?
Being too nice.
Okay. What's the best business advice you've ever received?
Stop being too nice.
If you had to fight another hot sauce reviewer, who would you want to fight and would you win?
Bitch, Heather, I want Bella. I want me. Yeah, she beat my ass. She would beat my ass, but I would go down fighting. I swear I would.
Awesome.
That's it.
If you could collaborate with another hot sauce company, we know you've done this with Mikey V, who would it be?
Fuck, that's a big one. If I could ever do it again, I can't answer that.
Okay.
I don't know. I really can't answer that.
Let's see. If you had to pare down, well, no, that one won't work. If your brand were a cave person, would it be a hunter or gatherer, and why?
Gatherer.
That makes sense. Describe your favorite hot sauce without saying a single ingredient or heat level.
Nostalgia.
I like that. That's
I want
great.
it to take me to that place that, you know, that I want it to give me that experience, that time, that place, that moment.
That's fucking fantastic. Really. Okay, last one. If Pepto-Bismol asked you to make a hot sauce, what type of heat would you use?
Mustard?
Mustard heat.
I have, I don't know why. It was a speed round. That's what you get.
That's what we get. That's it. We're done.
Thanks for coming back, Katie.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me.
It was
Katie,
great talking to you, Katie.
Yeah,
It was
always
great to be here. I enjoy you guys so much. Thank you.
This has been a Spike Mind Media production.